line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Bright skies, sunny weather, and beautiful temperatures out here at Homestead, Florida. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, here in Homestead-Miami Speedway to bring out some hot chargers and some heavy hitters as BackFire Sim Racing brings out the Next Gen Cup Series right here on Pizza Race TV. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Shriver, joining you guys here today once again on across the plains, across the track side here. Homestead, Miami, definitely a beautiful facility, a beautiful track, but garners a bit of a tougher competition level as it gives multi-grooves for the drivers, but a lot of angles to also make some mistakes if they're not too careful. And with that in mind here, I think it's no better time than to take a look at our gridding order here for today's action. Start them on the pole. Patrick McQuaid is in the 77s outside. That's going to be Carl Handwork, the 51. And row number 2 is Paul Owens in the number 54. Yeah, 54 is outside Thaddeus Marshall in the 87. Row number 3 is Blake Howell in the 26 outside 35, Wes Fuller. Row number 4 is going to be Chris Papa in the 13s outside the 16. That's Tom Airborne. Row number 5, Bailey Jelinas here in the number 78 is outside. That will be the 48, Ricky Gonzalez. And row number 6, Mark Gonzalez in the 88 is outside. The 46, Joshua Billiter. Final starter, Braden Black, the 55 in your final row today. The field is ready to go here and is set for tonight's action here as drivers are currently just getting squared up and centered away here for pit stops and strategies. Last remaining drivers coming onto the field. 134 laps to the distance here at BackFire Sim Racing Homestead-Miami Speedway race. Robert Van Ness coming on board saying go Sunny 7 to root on his boy today already out of the gate. Field is getting ready to go and the action is just about to start up. The roars of the motors, the roars of the speeds, the power that base them on down, ready to come alive. After Nashville last week, we have now narrowed it down to only our final drivers, the final 8 if you will, about to be crossed into final 4 territory here soon enough. But Blake Howell, Tom Bourne, Patrick McQuaid, Wes Fuller, Carl Handwork, Thaddeus Marshall, Chris Papa, and Ricky Gonzalez are all in the championship hunt. They're in their final leg of the race, trying to get to the big main event coming up in just a couple of weeks, to say the least here. And that final race is going to happen on May 6th at Michigan International Speedway. This race, in my opinion, is going to be the most important one, though, because the fact is, even though they're heading to Richmond next week, they've got a lot of endurance here and a lot of ways to take full advantage of that race win and get that point set in for the top 4. Final Four determined after Richmond. And Richmond to me is more of a track that's going to kind of test the guys on how well their patience levels are and how well they'll be able to handle late down the road. Homestead, it's an all-out racetrack. It's an all-out battle as our field of drivers comes off down turn 4. The pace car is off and set. The green flag ready to fly high. It's time to go racing here at Homestead. Top side, high risk, high reward. The 51 Carl Handwork already going up for some haymakers. A lot of drivers are going to be trying to aim towards that top side late in the run, a little bit early on. I guarantee you they'll come later in the race here. Some guys are going to try to do what you see with the 26. Blake Howell right now is up to here. He is already going to the bottom looking for some swings and some hits. Well, he got a good swing out of it, but nearly got a hit out of it too. Thaddeus Marks from the 87 having to restrain from taking him into the world curve, and the 54 Paul Owens also having to deal with some added pressure here as you hear the throttle and off throttle competition here between these drivers out of the gate. Bailey Jelinas here in the number 58 right now, moving up with the 1-3 speed. Good to see him back out on the track here with his 1-3 team. Trying to help out, I believe, his co-worker and partner there in the 13, Chris Papa. Papa, the only one left out of the bunch that has a chance of making it to the Final Four, if you will, in the 1-3 speed team. Of course, that back row sim racing guys, those guys, or Titletown, excuse me, Titletown sim racing guys are going to be a very heavy hitter set. In my opinion, they're the ones you got to really watch out for all season, because now they have the chance of a lifetime to take the Final Four away from everybody. Papa, by the way, if you guys are wondering, has a very unique scheme out there. No, it is not a miscalculation on the number or anything like that. I will get more in depth about it a little later on, but that 537 has a little bit of history to that car today. Carl Handwork, Blake Howell back at it once again. Blake Howell right now, the reigning defending points leader, looking to try and take down another set of drivers. Carl Handwork, so close so many times, so far so many times, just trying this time around to stay out of trouble and maybe have a chance of a lifetime to finally bring back some speed and some homework and some serious momentum for the Titletown Sim Racing boys. We're going to go on board here. Well, you can just see how close he is around those corners, how close he is coming off on the outside of that wall protection. He's pretty much almost wall riding it completely up there just to keep it from dragging into the speeds and dragging off the charge too quickly. What he's trying to do right now, though, is he's trying to find the most speed, the most runoff, and usually that means kind of having to go towards that high end of the track where the wall is. If he's going to be able to hold it down, though, later in the race, he's going to have to be a little bit more substantial and be a little bit more careful, because that's when the tires start to break down. Things get a lot harder to control. The bottom lane is extremely good, though, for pulling off, as we call in the dirt world, the sliders, or the slide job, but that, unfortunately, is not to be used very much. It's a very difficult move on the tires because it wears and tears on them so quick if you do them so many times. Treads on them can only take so much, and these Goodyear tires do a lot of damage and a lot of work just around the track as it is, and they're already taking quite a beating down there, as you see Ricky Gonzalez in the 48 currently fighting off with Paul Owens and Bailey Jelinas. Paul Owens, the 54 right now, keying up there with Jelinas here, but Jelinas has the early advantage here out of the gate, taking full aim and full strength on the speeds and the momentum that he can carry here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. No Toyotas in this field in this series, so it's all Chevys and Fords, and honestly, pretty interesting to see just how much these guys can make it work and really get their openings here when they can. They do a pretty good job about hanging down and really staying fire on the shot when they can and make some momentum moves when they get to it. But as they bring off turn number 2 here, the number 48, Ricky Gonzalez, already looking to bring the hammer down, bringing to fire it off. Mama Fuller's in the house. Ellen Fuller says, "Hey, Mama Fuller here. Good luck to my Titletown racing guys." Ellen, it's great to hear from you, darling. And yeah, your Titletown boys right now, the 51 Carl Handwork, Thaddeus Marshall, they're second and third, and right now your other boy, Patrick McQuaid, the 77 way back in the field, but it may not be too long before he starts really firing some speed up. Wes Fuller as well. I know you've been looking for him. He's currently in a little bit of a dogfight here with Chris Papa. And although that scheme is not technically of the U.S. Air Force, it is actually of the U.S. Navy on that scheme here today. Let's take a look at it from a better angle here. Let's get it down to our little drone cam flying around down here. And with this thing, I'm going to be able to actually show you guys what it looks like up close and personal. You may notice it says save the civilians on there here. Sullivans, if you will, on that 537 car, even though it's kind of beat and tore up a little bit. Now, the reasoning behind why it says that is actually because this 537 car is actually a tribute car to a little U.S. Naval Air Sport here. As I was told earlier by Chris Papa, he says he has not been in the naval background. He doesn't have anything to do with family or anything like that. But he has been to the park that his grandpa served in with the Navy aboard the USS Iowa. No relation to my state I live in. And right now, currently, as I've learned and I found out just today, there was actually a very sad tale as the historic USS of Sullivan's museum ship had sank last week at Buffalo Naval Park in Buffalo, New York. So the decorated U.S. Navy destroyer turned museum ship partially sank as its pier last Wednesday after a serious hull breach on its starboard side. Right now there is a little bit of help going into the federal funding, trying to get some love and support down to those guys. And even then, it says here that USS Civilians, I've never even read this before. It says it was built in 1943, one of the only 4 Fletcher class destroyers known, being the largest and most important class of U.S. destroyers used in the World War II remaining in existence. It also has the first ship in the U.S. Navy to be named for more than one person, named after the 5 brothers from Waterloo, Iowa, who were killed in action in 1942 while serving together on board the USS Juneau. Well, if my grandpa is listening in right now, I guarantee you he just got himself a history lesson. I don't even think he even knew. That is awesome, to say the least. But it is kind of sad, though, unfortunately, that the historic ship has sadly kind of shrank down a little bit. So if you guys want to look into the story more, feel free to. It's a little article on Facebook as well as Google. But just type in "Save the Sullivans," and that will be the actual Navy destroyer that they're all trying to work towards to get better of, trying to fix up for the future. That's crazy, though. I didn't even know about that history. Grandpa, if you're listening in, feel free to say in the comments if you knew about that or if you didn't. Or you can just tell me later on when I see you in the morning. I will say, though, full credit to Chris Papa, man. That is not only a history lesson, but also a real marksmanship and respectful nature to be able to run something to garner attention for that scheme. So good on him for that, and good on everyone else for racing as hard as they are so far. Been pretty clean so far. I've been a little bit of a 3-wide slew here or there, but every now and then it's been pretty much kind of watch and pace and go. Again, there's only 10 drivers on the lead field here today. Brayden Black, Mark Gonzalez, and Joshua Billiter right now running the show up on the race booth here. They're trying to keep an eye on these drivers fighting it out down on the track. Make sure they don't do anything too crazy or too unrealistic. As we've known before here, that can definitely happen once in a while. Ricky Gonzalez right now, the number 48 trying to hold back the number 54, Paul Owens. Paul trying to get a good jump on the start and going to jump on everybody else. But Thaddeus Marshall, Jelinus, Hamburg, and Howell all got ahead of him pretty quickly and kind of pretty much taken this one for granted here. Tom Bourne, the 16, really fall back way earlier than I thought he would. Remember, he's second in the points right now on that number 16 Go Beast machine. I think that's the Goose. Does it say Goose on the front? Producers, thank you. Oh, it is Goose. So he's driving the Goose number 16 today. Well, what do you know? I don't think I've ever seen the Affleck Goose though like that before. I know that's not actually the Affleck Goose, but it kind of gives me some the 99 Carl Edward vibes. So pretty cool, I gotta admit. I do miss Cousin Carl in racing. He was one of those guys I watched a lot of when I was growing up, and I do miss it. Wish he could come back to the sport. Or at least in some way go to like SRX or something. Do like something really cool, something fun with us. Firing down around into turn number 1, down turn number 2 here, and still the 54. Paul Owens holding his line down, holding his charge up ahead with Ricky Gonzalez trying to find some speed off him, trying to get some momentum down in the corners. Blake Howell backing off the throttle, knows now he's got to take care of his tires, take care of his car. And Carl Handwork says, what is that? I don't really think I need to take care of anything. I can just kind of move around you and take you for a little bit of a ride if I can get to you. Trying to put that number 51 machine right up into the fight and into the fray as the 26 tries to hold on. This is your battle for the lead. Oh, got the corner panel there, entering into a turn. Hal opened the door, Handwork like a thief in the night, sneaks his way in and takes all he wants. And he took more than Hal was wanting him to take. Drives it back down to the bottom, blocks the run from Howell. And now Blake Howell looks to try to deliver the crossover. Here we go. This crossover city time here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Drive it in deep, down to the bottom. Drive it hard off to the top. Cross him over. Yes, he does. And now Handwork looking to try to get another move off on Howell. Howell dives up high. Handwork to the bottom. Handwork back in it. Can he drive it off hard enough to keep Howell from going in? Gets him there. Howell's got to try to cross him over again. Oh, they collide down on turn number 4. Both drivers making contact. How the heck did they keep them on line, though, is beyond me. A little bit of damage on both drivers from the corner panels and the fenders, but that don't mean nothing. The bumpers are okay. The cars are doing all right. Woo, my goodness, friends. That right there is what you call hard racing and a half on a mile and a half. What a move. Oh, Blake Howell says, hey, wait a minute. Did we say we're done with this? No, we're not. Here comes another slide job. Brings it to the bottom. Sends it to the depths below to get back to the heavens above. This time, though, does not have the speed. He could not carry it. Remember what I said earlier. You got to be careful about those tires. And he overshot the turns. He overshot the tires. Now the tread's starting to take full off. Howell back at it. Got to move off on Handwork. Handwork now has to go back into it. Can we literally just watch these guys the whole time? What on earth is this madness? This is insane. I've never, I repeat, never seen anybody at Homestead be able to do this as many laps they have. What has this been? 5 laps now they've done this? This is incredible. Hal still doing it. He's going for the bottom yet again off the run. Are you kidding me? Is he going to get a run, though? Handwork's going to try to cross him over, entering out of the turn off the exit. Oh, he overshot it a little bit. Got a little bit of a runoff. Now he's got to drive it in deeper. Goes in hard, down to the middle. Oh, he sends it more towards the middle. He's going to try to cross him over up top. Force him to come back around. Smart thinking on the face of Handwork, and Howell knew he was going to get clever. Oh, so he gave him the bumper for his troubles off turn number 4. If these two go at it for the whole night, I think I might have to quit the booth. I think I might have to literally end my career. I don't think you can do this in normal next-gen Cup cars. I don't think I've ever seen anybody able to do this. Multiple laps, multiple fronts, and yet here these two are just doing it like it's nothing. And remember, they collided down in turn number 4 earlier and got a little bumped up and scraped up. As you see, that 51's machine is a little tangled up in it. Howell drives to the bottom, goes in the middle this time. Handwork's going to stay towards the top. Oh, he gave him a little tag in the half there coming off that turn 4, and Howell this time blocks him. Oh, don't tell me the crossovers are done. We were just having some fun around here on Pizza Race TV. Howell knows he might have wore out Handwork, and if he did, oh, he definitely wore him out. Handwork, trouble off of turn number 2. Overshot the turn, and this time the tires finally take too much tread out. He lost all that speed. Here comes Bailey Jelinas coming right at him. Handwork's just got to be thinking to himself, I literally wasted all that to make that pass and make that move, and Howell just kept giving me too much troubles. Now he's got to deal with the ever-looming threat of the 78 behind him. Ellen, I did not try to miss your comment there, sweetie. Thank Carl Edwards, coolest NASCAR driver ever. He definitely was a real cool cat. We sure do miss him. Cousin Carl, if you ever watched these or listened to any of the broadcasts, come back to racing, man. It doesn't matter if it's NASCAR or something like that. Just come back, man. We miss you. Well, I'll tell you right now, though, Handwork tries to even think about trying to block Jelinus. I guarantee you Jelinus will introduce him to the bumper or introduce him to a way to get around him. He won't hold back on him, that's for sure. I don't know how much, though, that number 51 took under the car when he took that bump, but I can guarantee you the tires right now took a bit more than he was hoping for. You can see his eyes right now. That is a fuming set of eyes. He's not happy with himself, and he is not happy that he ended up losing that charge, losing that speed. Now remember, though, he doesn't necessarily need to win the race. That's not a desperation time moment here. But I will say this. He is literally on the cutoff line to the top 4. If we were to end this race right now and the points were just the way they were, it would have been Wesley Fuller, Matthew McQuaid, Tom Bourne, Blake Howell in that final 4. Now again, Handwork, though, if he can get the points and keep himself in contention, he'll be able to knock down his teammate Wes and McQuaid. But Tom Bourne and Blake Howell, they're so far in that run, so far in that slot, that it's going to be very difficult to take down as Bailey Jelinus gets around him finally. And really, I didn't mean to forget these guys, but in the back, we forgot all about Paul Owens, Ricky Gonzalez, and Tom Bourne. We literally been trying to call the race up front. We forgot all about these guys in the back, and they're still putting on a bit of a show here. Bill Goose, 16, Ford Mustang, go to Tom Bourne. You can just hear his throttle rhythm. He's just kind of eke out, eke out, eke out. It's very smooth but very subtle. And you're probably wondering, home, why is he doing that? Like, why is he gonna burp in the throttle, if you will, kind of like burp, 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 burp. Yep, you can hear it right there. Well, you got to remember something, folks. When they're driving these next-gen Cup cars, these things are really probably one of the toughest cars to really handle and master. You know, with that 670 horsepower package, now it makes them even more difficult to kind of master and go full runoff with. You really have to time each shot. You have to time each run as the night progresses on and as the races continue through. Timing is extremely crucial, and momentum like this carried over is very hard to find and very hard to really hit with. And they know, that's why you hear them so off edge, so off target, kind of off corner. They're just trying to avoid hitting that wall protection. They're trying to avoid getting themselves into a mess or a scruffle. Well, right now, right at the moment here, Ricky Gonzalez, number 48, right in the top 5. Been a while since we've really seen him in that top 5 half here. As of late, he's either found himself in a bit of controversy or he found himself in a bit of a mess down there on the track. But it is good to see that he is still out here, still trying to put up a fight and put on a battle here for the driver's perspective as well as the fans' perspective. And with about 100 laps left to go, really there ain't no way of knowing what's going to happen next. All that we do know is that there's a lot of hard chargers and hard racers in this field that still have yet to make the big moves and make the big runs off. You can see the distance also traveled right now here at Thaddeus Marshall. And the number 87 farther away than the whole field, kind of farther away than the track side here. Tiletown Racing Boy himself, the 87, currently trying to get up there with his teammate Carl Handwork and give himself a fighting chance in the playoff picture. Right now, he is just a cut below Carl Handwork. Both guys right now at 21.19 and 21.12. Handwork being the one above him with that 29.19. And, oh, by the way, Blake Howell right now, yeah, let's just let the lap times just kind of show you how far he's already taken ahead of Jelinus. Jelinus right now had a lot of hard charge and a lot of hard work to do just to get up there to him. Howell really kind of got left on his own, did his own little thing, and now he's just driving the way he wants to. Carl Handwork this season, in my opinion, probably one of the either the most unluckiest drivers out there or one of the guys that got put in the worst ordeals at the worst possible times. And really a lot of it was due to the fact that he had struggled at some tracks and he had struggled on a lot of other areas. And then when he got good, it seemed like something just completely tore him apart, took him out completely. We saw back in Martinsville, unfortunately, with that whole situation, that whole scenario, kind of getting the Denny Hamlin treatment, if you will. And it came down to the white flag, the last lap, the last corner, pretty much via like what Kevin Harvick felt back in 2020 on the second to final race of the entire Cup Series championship. And in my opinion, it was literally one of the saddest ordeals and one of the, just frankly, most absurd things I ever had to witness and had to really see on the show, because it really boiled down to one thing. He went for everything and went for all he could. Yellow flag out here. This is going to give us a stage break of the day. This will be the first one of the night. Homestead-Miami Speedway going to get these guys re-racked, restacked, and all that. Put them back on the attack here. Jelinas here moves up into second, 7 spots up. Blake Howell goes 4 up. Handwork goes down 1, but he had the race lead for a little while, Howell. But now that begs the question, will he start to get the momentum towards their way and get the speed put on full run and full charge? That remains to be unknown. Howell doesn't have to charge anymore, but Handwork will have some work to do. Can he get it done? We'll have to soon find out. I do apologize for that little chuckle, folks. I guess I got told that I have a #1 fan out there, and they actually are right outside my door, so. It's kind of chilly in here where I'm at here. You can see me. I'm over in the booth there. I'm over in that top little corner there. You probably can see me. I'm somewhere in that crowd. I'm just kind of hanging back right now, just kind of staying out of trouble and staying out of the way of these guys as they do their own thing and kind of get ready to get back to the action here. Coming into the box here in pit road, Carl Handwork. Remember the fact that he gets one of the top spots allows him to get in there and in and out as quick as possible. The 54. Paul Owens trying to do the same. Blake Howell already has 4 sets of tires now. He'll bring it right out of the gate. Carl Handwork might be able to come out second, but no, that will not be the case. Looks like he's going to try to fix some damage up. Thaddeus Marshall comes out third. Fourth will come out would be Ricky Gonzalez. Carl Handwork, Paul Owens, Wes Fuller, they are still all in. So is Chris Papa. And Tom Bourne looks like in the background. And there goes Carl Handwork. Patrick Way getting his lap back here. Paul Owens, Wes Fuller, Chris Papa still in there, as well as Tom Bourne. Here comes Wes Fuller, though, in the 35. And out of pit, turn 4. These guys don't come out soon. They're going to get put a lap down. They've got to start going. Well, Paul Owens does. Tom Bourne's out. Chris Papa. Oh, he got it out of time. Woo! He got very close in that 5.37. He got very, very, very close. If he had not gotten out of there quick enough, my friends, he would have been put a lap down. That would have made things extremely difficult for that 5.37. Now, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, why did they stay in pit road for so long? Well, in iRacing, here's the thing. When you're an iRacer, you know one thing's for sure. Eventually, you're going to suffer damage. And in a race like this, you don't necessarily want to use an instant repair, or if you can't even use an instant repair, you've got to really take your time and strategize when the right time is to take that, but also when is the right time to try to just fix damage up on your own end and suffer losing positions and spots. But once you get the damage fixed up and it's all cleaned up and ready to go, then comes being back on the track and charged up. So this is where spotters on these big tracks like the 1.5 miles and the mile longs really come into play, in my opinion, because they can tell you where that pace car is and where the track is at the feel and the pace, and then just making sure like you pull a Likey McQueen and get out of pit road before that pace car gets you and puts you a lap down. Lights are turned off this time by. Cut the yellow, cut the stage, and as you can see, I'm all the way there. I am up there, top left. Look at me, there I am. That's. Well, I guess you guys couldn't see me. I was waving up there. You could try to look for me there. Anyway, I guess the camera crew didn't want to bother saying hello down there at me. The field is ready to get back up into the spotlight. 94 laps remain here as when we come back to the green. Blake Howell, your race leader here in the number 26 with the 78. Bailey Jelinas. Jelinas right now still looking for his first win of the season, but also really trying to bring on home for the 1-3 speed. This team, they've been tough. They've been good. There's just one downside. They have not been able to bring the speed and bring the hammer down on these boys. They've been just a little bit off at certain times, at certain places. They are trying today to get that fixed and get that centered up so they can be ready for the final 2 races ahead. For Chris Papa, though, he's the last remaining 1-3 speed driver at stake. So if he does not finish well here today, he can kiss his hopes goodbye, unfortunately. Because that final 4, I'm telling you, it's a dogfight for that final chance to have his final runs. Off the distance in corner number 4. Down onto the track. We bring him back around. And the green flag flies back on out. Time to go back racing. The flagman waves our boys around the track. We're back underway and the race green flagged up. Blake Howell already says, I am not taking any chances with these guys going up topside. I'm going to the bottom and I'll build my speed. Oh, that's why he also decided not to take the chance. Jelinas off of turn 2 smashes the 78 into the wall. Jelinas overshot the corner, got too far into the turn and ended up smashing the wall dead center around the inside corner. And Jelinas' run may have just completely turned to a swift and utter kick in the groin. Might as well say it was a bit of a kick in the you-know-whats, because that's kind of how it feels when you spin out like that and you wreck. And believe me, I've done it here at Homestead before. It does not feel good. Into the back straightaway, though. That just means Carl Hamrick has one last position he has to try to fight with and have to deal with. And remember, these two, I would say, I don't know, 25 laps ago, they made magic and they were doing something crazier than I could ever have dreamed of. They crossed each other over. They were fighting each other with slide job sliders from top to bottom and throwing everyone to the wall. Will it happen again? Jelinas has got an instant repair. He throw it on his car. He's back out, but he's going to be a lap down due to that scenario here. Right behind, though, of that Carl Hamrick, his teammate, Thaddeus Marshall. He's going to deal with what I just talked about a minute ago. Paul Owens to the depths below, to the top side with the heavens above. He reaches for the heavens. He goes for it, takes over position. And Thaddeus looking to respond. Down the front straightaway, looking into turn number 1, goes to the bottom, to the depths below. He wants to go back to the heavens above. High center of gravity speeds coming through. The A7 makes a full mounting charge, takes it from the 54. Impressive stuff so far out of the gate here between these drivers and between this field. Neither one trying to give an inch, neither one wanting to give out anything to the other. The only thing they think about is just trying to knock down the other driver at their peak and at their best performance. And race fans, as they start to battle up and they get a little creeping in closer on the low, I said we take it on the down low and on the go so low. Let's crank it up around here, my friends. Yes, indeed. We crank it up a little bit, let the drivers do the talking, and we just let them go out and put on a battle, put on a fight. And right now, Carl Hamwork far and away, falling back behind Blake Howell. Looks like he's trying to be a little bit more conservative this stage. Maybe trying to avoid any issues or any discrepancies with these guys. West Fuller in the 35 moving up ahead here as he gets right up into the 4th slot. Taking down the 54 Paul Owens for just a brief fleeting moment. Paul Owens right now trying to get a move off here on that number 35. And you can see just the overall consistency, the overall pace here. Fuller looking to try to outwit and outsmart the rest of the boys here, trying to get into that final 4 with a good field rate position here. This might help him out a little bit. Yeah, the thing is, again, a lot of these guys here just kind of pulled back, the reins pulled back the curtains a little bit, and they're trying to just stay a little bit more focused on the later half of this run. But I think the biggest thing that really to watch out for throughout is just where and when do drivers start making the big moves, start making the big risk again. If I'm Carl Hamwork, I wouldn't even worry about that until maybe late in the final stage. If I was him, what I would do is try to study Howell's run and keep an eye on my own run and see what I could do for that final stage, and maybe if I can make something work, because being in that 2nd place spot gives him a chance to actually get ahead of him out of pit road. Considering how farther up he is in positions from the pit road strategy, that could help out tremendously. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to really tell his strategy, because again, this young man, this talented driver, you know, he's gonna make what he can and work with what he's got. But you can see that damage on that left side there. That is going to be a very crucial factor that's going to hurt him for the rest of this race. So now this kind of becomes more of a fight-off zone for him. Blake still not giving him any run. Carl Hamwork doing desperately to try to get something going here. Jump problems down there for Tom Bourne. Something gone wrong here for the number 16. I don't really know what happened here, but he has completely stopped the car. And looks like he's done. Tom Bourne's done. The 2nd place driver right now in the championship is done. I'm not sure on why this is. I don't know what's going on, but that Goose 16, you can see right here, the car just went down at pit road and it said I'm done. I am stunned. Tom Airborne's been one of those guys that keeps continuously coming out here trying to put on a race and put on a battle. Jelinus is out. Gonzalez down, moving up into the 8th slot thanks to those two going into pit road and calling it a day. But I am a little bit confused right now on why they had left and why they ended their race so early. Jelinus had a pit instant repair used up and everything, but it still to me doesn't quite make any sense here why Tom Bourne got 2nd place right now in the points race. Could end up losing the entire season out if he doesn't get something going good at Richmond. That car looked like it was damaged, yes, but being able to take over a 9th spot or 8th spot here in the rest of the run might have been actually giving him a chance to win this out. Robert Van Ness saying, hang tough, 77, let them crash themselves. Robert, I mean, at this point, may not have to worry too much about that. I think it's more or less just them trying not to get themselves thrown into a bit of a wall end here. Wes Fuller, though, lost a lot of speed, lost a lot of ground. Tires starting to take full aim at him. Wes has been trying to grab a bit of a grip on this track. Remember, this is a hot surface here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. If you don't believe me, well, let me take a look at this race info here for you guys. Here is our track tech talk here for the BackFire Sim Racing crew. This is literally what we have right now on the track and what we have on the plate. 1.5 mile long, oval shaped configuration. And here is what really makes things even more difficult, is that the temperature of the tires is about, I'd say probably getting increased higher and higher as the track goes on. It's literally 80% out here in the temperature, 80 degrees. Actually, it's 80 degrees, excuse me, it's 80 and 90 degrees ish on the track, 77 degrees out here right now, the wind about 2 miles per hour. So you're probably home, okay, what does that exactly do to the track? Well, what it does is it makes the track, if it's hotter, it makes it easier to actually burn through tires quicker, and actually makes things a little bit more difficult long run. Because with that heated temperature from the car as well as the heated temperatures from the track, rubber has to shred somewhere, right? Well, it's pretty easy to do after a certain time and after a certain point. It doesn't matter how smooth you make the track. After eventually the tires just get too hot and warmed up, it just tears up everything. And that's exactly what these drivers are dealing with right now. That's exactly what they're trying to stay away from and stand clear of. Thaddeus Marshall, though, now looks like he's going to try and deliver what we saw earlier on between Hamrick and Howell with a little cross edge, crossed overs, moves of his own. Crosses them over down turn number 2. Slide job from the heavens, that's below to the heavens above. Paul Owens, though, a little loose off the end. Patrick McQuaid, I did not forget about him, but that's 97. Looking to maybe play double trouble and take 2 for the price of 1. The 77 is right on the crux on the back bumper here of McQuaid, and McQuaid right now knows he can't, or excuse me, of Mr. Owens and Fuller. And Thaddeus Marshall right now is trying to stay away from it and trying to stay out of that trouble zone. McQuaid is literally just right in that line, right in that shot, looking to take it over. Paul Owens now back at it here with Thaddeus. The more these two just keep battling, the more they're going to make things even more difficult later on. Well, I guess Wes Fuller wants to intervene a little bit, though. Both drivers now in a hot brigade. We got 4 cars battling for positions, jockeying for a run. Although Wes off turn 4, you saw the car tighten down a bit. He got way too loose off the exit, lost his speed, lost his momentum. And Paul Owens now up top side, into the wall protection, open the door for Thaddeus. Thaddeus swings it straight right at him with a hard right and a good knock in the head. And maybe a little headbutt from the front bumper to that rear bumper here from Owens, looking to try to get Thaddeus kind of a little loose entering into the turn. That does not solve anything. It did not help him. Robert saying smoking 77. Yeah, he's smoking some tires up and he's smoking some drivers up while he's at it. He's getting them. He's getting right to them. He's giving them a run for their money, to say the least. Titletown Racing crew right now currently dealing with second and third, or holding on to whatever they can of it. Meanwhile, 4th, 5th, and 6th trying to maybe make things a little bit more interesting here. Both drivers still hot on the charge, hot on the run down that front straightaway here. Nobody giving an inch. We're just about approaching halfway into this race, and it's pretty crazy to me. We're almost halfway done with this one. Seems like we really just kind of got started. You had kind of a little bit of a breather, kind of a little bit of a slow down before the stage break came, and now you have this. Down the bottom legs yet again. Look out for an Alpha Lion machine coming up right off the charge. Here comes McQuaid down to the bottom and makes a big run up to the top side, taking it right to Thaddeus. Marshall trying to hold on, maybe trying to deliver Marshall's law at that 77 and makes him realize he plays by his rules, but it's not to be. McQuaid pulling a Lightning McQueen-esque move here you would have seen down at California, thrown at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Beautiful pass from the bottom to the top side. But now it's Thaddeus looking to throw one right back at him. Can the Alpha Lion hold him up? Oh, look at that burst of speed on the outside. It looks like Thaddeus might got a little too loose, and that is some serious speed McQuaid's carrying. Wow, my, here comes Owens yet again. One more crossover for his troubles. Owens clips the front bumper of the left front, just a slight nudge, little nudgy nose. Both guys hanging on though. Wes Fuller sees what he sees and he's liking every minute of it. Knows he's got a chance if he can get up to him. So a daily double by McQuaid, taking down Thaddeus and Paul Owens, if you will, after a couple of laps away in this turn. Wes Fuller backed off the throttle, staying out of trouble for the moment, trying to keep himself under wraps, under control. Chris Papa right now still dealing with that damage on the right side of his car and dealing with the added slowdown that's on his machine. He's just trying to punch in laps to stay ahead of the lead lap, trying to avoid trouble and trying to maybe raise some more awareness here for the 537 Save the Sullivans U.S. Navy Air Destroyer. Blake Howell right now, currently, you hear him kind of throttle off, throttle on right now. It sounds like he's actually trying to save some fuel, getting ready for that final stage coming up. Carl Handwerk about 4 seconds back of him. Either Carl's doing one thing or he's doing two things right now. The first thing is he's either trying to save the tires and save the car up for the big run coming up, or, which I think is what he's doing, he is trying to reprimand and watch out for a big charge to get in through later. Second caution has finally arose here. The stage break has come. Blake Howell wins stage number 1, then stage 2. Handwerk this time will go second, as I previously predicted he would get in that one. Only our second break of the day, and really a second caution of the day, to say the least. Been crazy to see just how difficult some of these guys have had to fight off and have to endure out on the track, and now they get an opportunity to try and square up and get ready for it again. David Hara coming on board, or Hara, I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong there, my friend, saying, go get them, Patrick McQuaid. Well, if I think after that last little stage break, I think he might not be too far off. That Alpha Lion 77 is bad fast. And right now, if I'm looking at times here, his best time was a 33.59. Blake Howell laid in a 33.14. Carl Handwerk a 33.25. But the reason I'm kind of looking at McQuaid is overall speed and consistency. McQuaid actually had a top speed of 179 over Howell and Handwerk. That tells me he might have something here in this final little run. This will be interesting. Down pit road we go, though. Man, some beating and battered cars up on these machines here. Let's see how this one plays out. Handwerk, remember, has the opening pit down there. This might be his chance to really take full advantage. McQuaid, though, looking to do much the same, depending on how he wants to play it out. Paul Owens, a little problem there, entering in pit road. The Alpha Lion has already got 2 tires on. He's looking to try to get the final set on. Blake Howell, though, also got the set on. Can he get out of there in time before Handwerk? Yes, he does. Can he get ahead of McQuaid? He barely ekes out McQuaid there. Handwork's going to try to fix more damage up on his car to give himself some more aerodynamic speed. But McQuaid nearly got Hal off the pit road. That could have been disastrous for him and his team. It looks like a lot of the guys are going to stay out here for a little bit longer. They're trying to get the car centered up and really fire down. Handwork refires. Gets a 3-wide battle out of pit road for crying out loud. West Fuller gets ahead. Oh, nope, they'll give it to Paul Owens. Paul Owens gets ahead. West Fuller falls back. Ricky Gonzalez goes into the 6th slot. Thaddeus Marshall getting out, and looks like the only one left here is Chris Papa. Papa trying to get the damage fixed up on the 537. Looks like he's got it all cleared up. He got what he could. And you can see why he only got what he could there. Blake Howell coming around town here with Patrick McQuaid right behind him. This could get very, very interesting in a minute. Field now ready to bring down the hammer, bring down the speed once again here on PTM Racing TV. Boy, howdy, has it been a wild, wild day of racing here to say the least. And these guys still need to get finished up and ready to finish this one on by. Ultimate question is, which one of these guys is going to take this one home? Off of turn number 4 this time on by here. We have been in a deadlock fight all day long, but now the time has come. We need to crown ourselves a race winner. Which one will it be? On the final edge, here we go. Homestead-Miami Speedway, we're about to crown ourselves a winner. Which one will it be? Off the start, McQuaid balls back early. Maybe trying to play the same strategy he did earlier. Knows that he's got a lot longer of a lap run to go through. Oh, look out though, off of turn 2. Troubles. Chris Papa around and Ricky Gonzalez around as well. Both drivers able to refire it though on out of turn 2 here. Yellow flag is out though. Uh-oh, Patrick McQuaid, Thaddeus Marshall, both wrecked out here. Paul Owens as well. What the heck is going on down there? Yellow is already out there, both wrecking. I'm not sure entirely what happened here. Let's take a look at the replay. I don't even know what happened exactly. Looks like they can't. Oh, they were supposed to come to a stop. Thaddeus Marshall was in a bad area though when he came to a stop. You can see the rear end just spun right out in front of him. And Patrick McQuaid got a whole lot of that. Oh my goodness. That is the worst timing, the worst break you can get if you're that 77 right now. Watch again. Watch the yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. You can see the lights flashing. Thaddeus kind of trying to back off, trying to stay out of trouble, and I guarantee it right now, Thaddeus is probably thinking to himself, I just messed up big time. I would probably not disagree with him on that assessment, but let's take a look at the whole reason this wreck happened in the first place. Let's take a look at this one. This is the caution that brought out the this was the wreck that brought out the caution, I should say, and that Ricky Gonzalez came off turn number 4. Got really loose there, and you saw Chris Papa literally losing off the corner. Both drivers just collapsing around the turn, and then everything else just kind of went haywire on them. More time pit road to get things cleared up and fixed up again. But right now, I am Patrick McQuaid. I'm not too happy right now with any of these guys. Damage on the front of that nose. You can see the Alpha Lion 77 took a big hit there and a big nudge. I don't know how long he'll be able to stay in there knowing how much time he's got left. He needs to get that damage fixed out of there and get out quickly if he wants any chance of taking these guys down. Looks like he's going to try to run out the clock here before the pace car gets to him. McQuaid still in pit road. Is he going to get out in time? No, he's not. It's not enough time. McQuaid is going to be put a lap down. Unreal. Another tough break for the 77. McQuaid is going to cost him chance and maybe the opportunity of taking some of these boys with him down to the top end and to the finish line here. Unfortunately, though, there's nothing he can do about it. Man, that, I said earlier on, I thought honestly Carl Handwerk was one of the most unlucky guys. I think McQuaid might got that beat now. Good Lord, how do you even think about that much? How do you even try to come from that? I've had races where someone wrecked me on purpose, but I've never had a race where something like that just happened and cost the entire race. That's crazy to say the least. That is a tough break, man. Robert Van Ness saying that's fine. I don't know if I would say that's fine. I'd be kind of upset and sad about that one. But McQuaid's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he'll come back from it just fine. The good news for him is the guy that he was dealing with, Tom Bourne, actually left earlier on, so he'll technically be up there in the points with them right at that ledge. So that will help him out. But again, in Richmond, that could be a whole nother story. We'll have to see what happens there. McQuaid still in pit road. I think he's contemplating if he's even going to have a car to run here in the last bit, but we're going to have 54 laps remaining one way or another. Field moving in, down in position now, getting ready for the run to come up. They're going to bring him down off of turn number 4 this time on by, and this one is going to be where things get heated. Things get pretty crazy once again. Back down to the green flag restart zone. We're back underway. Carl Hayward now knows it's not a matter of trying to wait it out. It's a matter of just driving it out. And he got a big chance at figuring out how to take him down with this one. Paul Owens already moving up into the fight and in the fray. Wes Fuller trying to avoid trouble, trying to avoid issues here. But he knows guys are coming up on him fast, coming up quick. Thaddeus Marshall also moving his way in the inside. Pushing their runs, pushing their limits. Paul Owens, oh! off of turn number 1, hits hard into the wall protection, crashed big time. And the 54 will bring everyone back to a slow crawl, and unfortunately more trouble down there for the drivers. Came off turn number 1 there and just completely lost in a turn. McQuaid, by the way, has left the track. He is done, so just to let you folks know about that. But my golly, what a hit this one was. Watch out, watch this. You see right there, just that snap lock turn that wheel has been known to do in those next gen cup cars, and it's extremely difficult to deal with, and it's extremely hard to get over. And this is just one of those feelings you get, man. You just can't help it. You can't really get around it. You see just how quick it snaps on him. The snap lock just completely snaps shut around him. Wow. More trouble down there, and Paul Owens, I guarantee, is still not too thrilled about that, and not too thrilled about what's going on with him and his team here. He's been trying desperately to figure out how to master the runs, how to master the positions here, and this will not help his cause any. So field right now currently dealing with strategies, dealing with pressure. Blake Kyle's going to be the only one that stays out of the bunch here as he went into pit road on lap number 83. Everyone else going into pit road now, so looks like he'll have a little bit less laps to use up against these guys. Carl Hamwer comes out first out of the bunch, was fuller than Thaddeus Marshall. Looks like the Titletown Racing crew has a plan. Hamwer, Fuller, Marshall right now looks like they may all want to try to somehow, some way find a way to make it into the top 4, because they know Blake Howell has been pretty much locked and loaded all time and really been able to make the best out of these guys and really make some work done on them. Well, they'll bring him off the edges around here. Down turn number 4 here to the green flag restart zone. We are back on our way already. 87 laps will be put in the books this next time by. We need to get to 134. Carl Hamburg already trying to gain up on the ground. Clearance of Blake Howell. Guys in the back though, they're in a hot dog fight trying to make the best of it. Looking to try to ride the wave of the ocean into the sea bears himself. The 13 Chris Papa looking to try and knock down the field, trying to take everyone for a bit of a ride off. Ricky Gonzalez though, dealing with pressure from the number 54. Paul Owens sneaks his way in the inside. Ricky on the outside, trying to deal with the added work around. Has really nowhere to go, nowhere to kind of stable up to and really stable down on. And they come down off the edge here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out down there. Hold on, hold on. It was forward. Thaddeus Marshall. Both troubles down into the turns. Paul Owens gets around 2 of them. Double trouble. It takes 2 for the price of 1. Thaddeus yet again struggling with turns and struggling with a corner there. And I think that might have been another hit and run there, unfortunately, on his end. This time it was his own teammate here, Wes Fuller. Let's take a look at the replay. Wes gets loose, goes in the wall protection. This is where Thaddeus is trying to avoid him. He lost all that speed. That snap block steering nearly got the 87. Paul Owens managed to make his way around. Wes Fuller, though, knows he was trying to make a big move and trying to make a big charge off, but that did not work well for him. Conserving fuel, conserving the car now. Blake Howell knows he cannot give up anything to these guys. Fuel consumption being very critical, being very useful here. Chris Pop on the 537, excuse me, usually in the 13. Trying to represent the 1-3 speed team and maybe make the opportunity of a lifetime and take one home for the boys. But can he get there and can he do it? In such a timed edge and in such a timed slot here, it's extremely difficult to get it down with that. Thaddeus right now, I guarantee you, just probably thinking to himself, man, I just having so much bad luck today and I cannot believe what's going on. I'm just hoping I can survive this one out. Chris Papa in his mind just thinking, I got to somehow, some way find a way to hold the race line up and hold this race in my hands. He's got it all on the charge. He's got it all up for grabs if he can just hang in there. Both drivers literally clutching the throttle in. They are trying to stop the engine from boiling any more engine fuel or engine oil really on that gas line. The more they can save, the more they will have for the late half of this one. They're doing everything they can right now, just trying to hold up, trying to hang on. Both guys in a hot fight, hot stretched out run. Thaddeus going for broke, going for it big here, and he gets right up ahead of Chris Papa. You see him take a position over again, but is that going to be enough timing for him? Blake Howell, due to clutching the gas pedal, clutching that clutch in and making sure he's off the gas pedal. Now he is actually putting the Carl Hamwork camp right up in position to take it over from him. And remember, Carl Hamwork, he was in pit road on lap 85, so he has a couple of laps more fuel and tire to his name. If he wants to fight Howell, he can certainly do it. We saw what these two can do earlier on the run, but it looks like now Hamwork realized what Howell's up to and realized what he might have to do here. Starts clutching the gas in just a little bit, starts clutching the fuel lines up. He's trying to make that long run last as long as he can go. Howell doing the exact same strategy here. This is really going to boil down to who played it smarter. Who wins this one out? If I'm Blake Howell right now, I'm kind of fuming under my nose, fuming up my helmet, and fuming up my glasses right now, just thinking, what's going on? Oh, later in turn 3, we got a rock. Takes it in the 26 out. It's Carl Hamwork. Carl Handwork gets the 26 of Blake Howell, and that might have ended both of their race day today. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Blake tried to block Handwork or if Handwork got a little too close for comfort. Either way, this just changed the ball game, and it changed it in such a drastic term. We saw these two go head to head with one another earlier on. I don't know if that boiled over in Handwork's mind or what happened. We're going to go to the instant replay and take a look at it from multiple angles. Watch though on the number 51. Well, judging by that view, it looks like Howell blocked. Handwork got into his rear bumper. And, you know, we can say what we want about that, but it looked like to me Handwork and Howell just kind of put themselves into a racing ordeal. Really, it was just kind of a what do you do kind of scenario. Watch the onboard replay. Howell trying to stay calm, but you can see his eyes just fuming over. You can see Handwork just getting just absolutely decimated into that turn. Both drivers really had nowhere to go and nowhere to get out from, and that just completely nullified their chances and nullified anything. This has been an absolute chaotic race, to say the least. You can see the air flaps gun in the car being put up and thrown up just to keep these guys staying low and staying out from flying up in the air. But my goodness, folks, my goodness. Blake Howell, though, managed to have a instant repair up, ready to go for him and his crew. That will certainly help out his cause. Carl Handwork did the same, but that actually puts him in the race lead. And with both drivers now having a full fuel line, and I believe Chris Papa might have just done the last repairs on his car too. So Thaddeus Marshall's little runaround he had on Howell just kind of went out the door, but he does still have a bit of damage he's dealing with on the front of the nose of the 87. I don't think it will affect him too badly. I don't think it's going to be too much of a troublesome nuisance, but let's just say this right now. Blake Howell and Carl Handwork, they may just go to war with one another in a minute. So we might have to be careful about this one. Tempers have been thrown around before on Pete Race TV, but I don't think I've ever seen a move like that in quite some time for a championship run. Way out of control and absolutely crazy to say the least. And drivers currently pacing around. Carl Handwork going into pit road. Looks like he may have overstayed his welcome in his mind. Getting himself kind of been put into a bit of a bad spot. Field gonna work their way around. Chris Papa, Blake Howell will be on the front row. Thaddeus Marshall, Wes Fuller. Wes actually is a lap down, by the way. Gonna be up in that nose. Ricky Gonzalez, Carl Handwork, Paul Owens coming back out on the track here. Looks like Carl Handwork will have to serve as a little detention spree, a little bit of a troublesome spot for him and his crew. Don't think that's exactly what he was hoping for, though. Off the green flag restart run, we bring him back to the start. Chris Papa, for the first time today, will lead a lap, and maybe we'll have something crazy up his sleeve here. "35 laps remain. Which one of these boys is going to take this one home?" Handwork staying in the back. Thaddeus and Wes Fuller, the Titletown Racing boys, already looking to try to gain some ground, gain some composure and some speed up under the hood. Papa into the wall already. 3 wide slip for the first time in a while tonight. Carl Handwork. Oh, he didn't waste any time. 4 wide salute into the front straightaway. 4 wide off the end there. Handwork, Thaddeus, Papa, and Rick, and it looks like Wes Fuller. All in that mix. They mix it up. They throw it everyone around. Handwork now back into the second slot, looking to get it up to Howell. Howell really doesn't need to worry about trying to save the fuel anymore. All he needs to worry about is dealing with the added pressure that Handwork might bring back out of your hand. Thaddeus Marshall getting really close off the edge. Nearly got into it, Chris Papa, but Handwork gets into the wall protection on the front straightaway. Car got loose. Snap lock steering coming back into effect, messing him up. Troubles yet again for Handwork. Howell loves every minute of what he's seeing. Oh, but unfortunately down there for turn number 2, Wes Fuller goes for a wild ride into the infield wall. And Wes Fuller's season may have come to a closing halt and closing end here. We'll have to see. But right now, he is going to fall way back in the pack and way back in the field. Ellen Fuller saying, "Go, boys." She's trying to root on her boys there in Handwork as well as Thaddeus. Chris Papa still dealing with Handwork. Papa back at it, right on the throttle edge. If he can get a good day here, a top 3 will certainly help. That will put him one step a chance. He'll give him one more chance entering into Richmond next week to give him one more shot at taking home a top 4 playoff berth. He wants to go to the playoffs. He wants to get to the top 4. He wants to maybe win the championship. The unlikeliest of drivers in the number 537. He's trying to bring 1-3 speed team into it. No harm or foul here. Each driver giving it their all, giving it what they can. They want nothing more than the strength and number and strength of speeds. Paul Owens, the 54, up topside yet again. Ricky Gonzalez down to the bottom ledge here. Handwork going down hard. Lost a lot of speed there into the 3 wide slug yet again. Paul Owens and Gonzalez now making Carl Handwork a sandwich in the middle, the meat of the sandwich. Handwork though able to get out of it. Howell is getting about a tenth in a second, or 10 to a half a second or more on Thaddeus each lap, each turn. Thaddeus knows he needs to start making some ground up here if he wants any chance. He can make a top 4 burp by simply taking this one home with a good shot, in the arm and a good runoff here. But again, with how difficult and how tough this season has been on the drivers and how tough it is just to even survive and conquer, it's amazing to me any of these guys are even able to work around the scenarios, work around the tough competitions. Handwork lost it off turn 2. Another bobble and misfire there from the 51, but somehow manages to make his way right around. Paul Owens yet again, the 54, dealing with the added pressure, added scenario coming up. Every driver for themselves, nobody giving an inch. This is just absolutely incredible and unbelievable. Oh, no, 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 not again. Not again. Carl Hamworth, Paul Owens, and them getting into it. The yellow is out. The yellow is out. And Ricky Gonzalez and all them. I don't know what the heck happened there, but Carl Hamworth now has pretty much locked himself out of this one. Unless he has any chance and hope, he's going to need some serious help here. I don't know what the heck happened here. Oh my goodness. Let's take it to the chopper cam. We haven't watched this one all day, so it'll be our first time viewing it today. Watch off corner number 2. And hand works loose. Paul Owens tries to evade, and Handwork did suffer a little bit of damage there. You can see the car spinning, twirling around, the rear end taking a big little nudge and a hit there. And oh my goodness, folks, this is getting heartbreaking. This is getting bad, man. That's what it's like to go on board here and feel what it's like under that car. And believe me, I know every ounce of it. It does not feel good. Remember, these drivers only got one fast repair they can use up today, so I'm pretty sure pretty much everybody is now used up, even that 26th Blake Howell, which I don't even think he was expecting to use it. Chris Papa, Thaddeus Marshall will have a little battle out for second and third here, and right now Howell's staying out where he's at. He doesn't have to worry about fueling. He's got to worry about just his tires and dealing with the added pressure behind him, but he is by far the fastest guy out on the track in the moment. So now, this is starting to get interesting here. You know, the entire first half of this race today, we were having no troubles whatsoever when it came to hitting the throttle, hitting it down, keeping everyone under control, and staying out of trouble and out of problematic zones. But, well, let's just say that things do change. Race fans, we're coming to the edge. We're coming to the wire. If you haven't already and you're new to the show, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook, at our YouTube, to subscribe there for more great content, some live action coverage, as well as some shows you may not have ever seen before. We have everything on full display and on full view for you and the family. One to go now, this time by race fans. The field is set in motion. The field is set to go. What an unreal race this has been, and what a moment in time we may witness with 23 laps to go now. Anything's really possible. Blake knows he's getting very close to that forbidden door, the dark shadow that lies ahead of him. The chance that possibly somebody comes right up at him and comes into a full throttle assault to try to take the final spot in, to take this run away and take this win away from him. He knows he's got to be very, very careful here. The hold shot's going to make the biggest difference, and in my opinion, this could make the biggest win for one of these boys. They need it. Howell's got multiple wins this season. Can he add another one to his resume? If he does, he's certainly going to be put to the test and put to the challenge here, considering everything he's been through and what he's got ahead of him. Off of corner number 4, this time on by here, race fans. We're going to bring him down to the line, back down to the center here. Off a green flag, restart. Howell with the start and the jump. Papa and Marshall will follow behind. Now the ultimate question is who comes away with it? Who walks away with positions and who takes the full advantage of this race? Howell striding off ahead. Papa and Gonzalez now dealing with one another here. Gonzalez on the outside. Papa down on the bottom lane. Gonzalez a little hard into the wall. You can see Carl Handworks. I don't know how the heck he's gotten that thing cleaned up, but he is a lap down. He needs to have a caution and then be on the lucky dog without any incidents to possibly get a shot. I don't think he's going to get it. Marshall and Papa literally back down on the runs here. Marshall has moved up in the second. Howell is just starting to run further and further away from the boys. Oh, there's trouble down there. Paul Owens brings the yellow out on turn number 2. And now this is getting very, very scary if you're that race leader, Blake Howell, because now things are getting even worse for his chances. He needs to rely on those hold shots, and he's going to need a lot more of them. Here's another look at it, though, coming off turn number 1 down to turn number 2. I did say earlier on, high risk, high reward. Well, I wasn't joking. If you can time it just right, there's a lot to be had. There's a lot of risk involved to win it, but at the same time, it can slow up your chances and take everything away from you as quick as you got it here. Sorry for the slowdown there in the technical difficulty screen. Yeah, it looks like Blake was trying to get some drivers to go down to pit road. I don't think they were playing for that little game. I think that might just be mind games for him, really, at this point. It's not even a matter of just trying to outsmart and outwit the other drivers. At this point, he knows he can outrun them. Carl Handwork is going to get his lead lap back, and now the chance of a lifetime here for that 51 to make do and make good on his issue he made earlier on. He has a chance, but will he get the opportunity? Days before the days here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, the championship on the line in just 2 short weeks from now. This next week coming up, Richmond Raceway will determine our final 4, but right now we need to figure out who's going to get a leg up and who's going to get a better chance to not have to worry too much about finishing high-end, high performance here on the very edge of this here. So now 17 laps need to be completed. If you're Blake Howell, it's just a matter of the whole shot. If you're Thaddeus Marshall, Chris Papa, now you need to start thinking about maybe making a little bit of a harder charge at him if you want any chance to win this one. Neither driver has walked away too many times with a victory. Thaddeus, out of the bunch, has come away with a couple. Chris Papa has yet to win this season. We'll bring him around town. One more go by. One more time. Yes, will this be the last leg of the race? Off of turn 4. Pace car comes off the track. Set them in motion to the green flag. Lights are on. We're off. Scattering for positions, jumping into every move they can. Every single driver looking for an opening, looking for a chance. Howell got another great start. Chris Papa dealing with Thaddeus on the outside. Knows he can get a little bit loose off those exits and those corners. Watch very carefully for him. Staying on the close bottom edge of the ledge here. Papa trying to get the best finish of his season by going second today. He is running this field into the ground. Carl Handwerk trying one more time though. He's back on the lead lap. Might have a chance. But it's not going to be to the lead. It will possibly be for second. Look at him just mount it right off of Gonzalez. Gonzalez lost all that speed. Slapping the wall just a little bit in the 48. Now comes Wes Fuller. The inside. Talks total charge. Titletown Racing needs a little bit of help, and they've got it. Now they need to work their magic and get this thing going. If they can get a bit of a draft train going, they can maybe make a chance at Howell. They need to draft off one another. But they also got to figure out a way around Papa. And the 537 of Papa into the wall yet again. His top 3 podium is in serious jeopardy with that 51 of Handwerk moving his way around. Despite everything, despite all the hard charges, all the mounting pressure and the added issues that have come to be, Titletown Racing is still not giving out. And they're making one last fight comeback here. Howell maybe too far ahead. Chris Papa gives the bumper to the 51, but gets into the wall entering into the turn. Exits off, trying to hang on. Might have a slight chance here around Handwerk. He's going to use the draft now to his fullest advantage here and try to use the aerodynamics of the car to hold him down on that track. If he goes for broke, he'll go for it all. One thing's for sure, there is no more gimmies here. You either take or you don't. Forget about trying to play nice anymore, my friend. You better take risks and you better take opportunities because you're not going to get very many more of them. And we're trying to block him, trying to keep him away from it. And we're going topside yet again. Papa lost all his speed and lost all his control and power. And the car just cannot simply hold up anymore. Paul Owens here lap down after all his little hiccups and his little problems down turn number 2. Can't seem to get his run, can't seem to keep his momentum at bay, and now he knows he's just trying to hold on for one last little leg. Oh, he saw the left front, it jammed again! It jammed again! Smashes Gonzalez! And Papa got a piece of it too! Does the caution come out? Paul Owens just stopped dead on the track on the back straightaway. Will he refire? The left front locked up again! Snap locked into the turn. Blake Howell, stay low, watch out for him down there. Oh, Paul Owens got it out of the car. He's out of the car and he's put the car in pit road. Thank goodness. Blake is going to be able to walk away from this one A-okay. Handwerk and Thaddeus Marshall in a heated deadlock. One of these two drivers are going to try and take the second place spot and make it one step closer to the final 4. Handwork though, literally, I'm not even gonna lie to Thaddeus. This boy has got something coming up through the rank and through the speeds. He is on a full throttle assault. Thaddeus trying to hang on to the top side. Carl Handwork is literally just inches away, just a narrow car length away from taking Thaddeus's place in the rung. About a car length and a half between them separate this race out. Chris Papa, give the man credit's due. Try to raise awareness, try to also give himself a little bit of good juju to get into this big position, this big possibility at taking home a podium and also getting one step closer to a Final Four appearance. But it looks like at Richmond he's going to need all the help he can get. Eight laps remain. Thaddeus Marshall trying to hold on. It is anybody's race for second. Blake Howell has already snuck too far ahead. They are looking for him to make a mistake. He's not going to get it though. There's too many laps. There's not enough laps for him to run out of fuel. There's not enough laps to really get him in trouble. Blake played strategy. He played smart all day. And despite that huge hit he suffered in turn 3, it didn't seem to faze him, nor did it seem to bug him. Kyle Handwork coming off turn number 4. Full mount, full charge. He's desperate to get the top 2. He wants to get into the big 4. To the big dance, goes down low one more time. Thaddeus gonna hold the outside, try to keep his speed alive. Titletown back and forth with one another yet again. Side by side, both drivers just completely taking this one to the wire. Neither one wants to give an inch. Which one though will it be here coming in through 3 and 4? Thaddeus in a wall, Handwork contact yet again. Both drivers side by side off the edge, but it's Handwork this time who able to scrape by the 87. And that wall is literally like just hitting sand. It's like hitting a sand trap in the golf course. You're stuck there for a minute and you're not getting out until you get a little whack or two back out. Or in this case, steering that thing off from the wall. And just like a sand trap and just like the sand pits below, Thaddeus gets stuck in it and gets trapped in a small deadlock down it. And now Carl Handwork doing much the same. Thaddeus is going to smell below the water. Maybe have a chance to get back at him. Well, he certainly did get out that time. A little bit of a wall ride coming off that turn, looks like. But that does not mean Thaddeus didn't get an opening to really move something up on him. He's starting to be a little detrimental on the speed, a little detrimental on the pace. He knows the speed is gone, the run is gone as well. Champagne coming on board saying, good racing, guys. This was a tough one for sure, and it has been great racing all day long. Some heavy hitters in this one like Gonzalez, Papa, Owens, McQuaid gave it their heart, gave it their soul, but Marshall, Handwork, and Howell, in my opinion, just threw the hammer down better than anybody else. But unfortunately, they seem to all have forgotten that Blake Howell, when he gets it going, he's got it going. And that 26 has got the confidence and the mentality to bring a championship home to him and his crew. But he still needs to finish out at Richmond next week, and then he needs a really good race at Michigan to win the title. For Carl Handwork, with this race, if I'm judging by the points, I'm judging by the times here, he will now move into the Final Four. With Tom Bourne leaving as late as he did, that actually gives Handwork the golden opportunity. It'll give him the golden shovel to dig his way out a little bit. For Thaddeus Marshall, well, to say the least, he's still going to be just one spot down, at least in this position. He's not going to be in the top 4 running. The only way he was going to get there is if he won this race, and there's nobody stopping Blake Howell from taking this one home. 2 laps to go. We're on the green flag high in the air. Handwork is getting the distance out away here from the 87. Handwork looking to just do one more time and hold on. The battles between him and Blake Howell earlier on, absolutely legendary, for to say the least, here at Homestead. And I don't think any fan here is going to forget that anytime soon. But off the corner, number 4, white flag in the air for Blake Howell. The number 26 driver has brought this one in to the Homestead-Miami area. He knew the hot sun would tear up the tires. He knew things were going to get harder to control late in the run. But despite all that, despite the huge hit he suffered in turn 3, a fast repair, a quick pair job, has now led to this. Off of turn number 4, straight to the checkers, punch his ticket to the final 4. This win will secure it. And work second, third to Marshall, fourth to Fuller, and fifth to Chris Papa. But Blake Howell, now with just one race left to go, pretty much has sealed the deal in his ticket at a chance at immortality. A championship will be on the line 2 weeks from now. But for him and his crew, this one means much, much more than that. What a night. What an awesome night of racing right here on PT Racing TV. You never miss the shows and you never miss the beat. This is for good reason. It may have been long and it may have been drawn out for some of these guys, but they were able to hang out for the longest time. And here's our finishers today. The top 10 were the ones that raced. The rest down there are just simply race control drivers. But your number 1 driver today, Blake Howell, representing for 1-3 speed. Now you have to clarify something earlier. I messed up. I said Papa was the only one. I refrained from that. Blake Howell was the other, so I completely forgot. Blake, don't come at me for that, man. I'm sorry. But Blake comes away with the win for him and his 1-3 speed team. So Titletown and 1-3 definitely have some work to do into the final race of Richmond. But Carl Handwork does go second, third, Thaddeus Marshall. Wes Fuller does go fourth, so maybe a glimmer of hope. Will we see 2 and 2 be put in the final 4? We'll find out when that time comes. But Chris Papa goes 5th, 6th to Ricky Gonzalez, 7th to Paul Owens, 8th to Patrick McQuaid, 9th to Tom Bourne, and Bailey Jelinas is going to go 10th. That rounds out the field. Woo! Alright, race fans, let's get down to business. Let's finish this one up a notch or two. It's time to listen in to the top 3 and our first one on the bunch. It's the 87 Thaddeus Marshall. Thaddeus, congratulations on a 3rd place finish here. I'll tell you one thing, man. You gave it a heart, you gave it some soul there, but it looked like Handwork had used up all that speed and used up all that run late in the race and managed to catch you there on the final laps.
Yeah, I tried to run the bottom a little bit too early, and there was just nothing there for me. I should have just stayed up top where I was running, but, I mean, good race to him. I mean, his teammate, so finishing 2nd and 3rd is pretty good. Looking forward to Richmond next week.
It sure is indeed, and I know a lot of you guys right now are having to kind of watch out for the big battles and the big showcase coming up here, and then Michigan in 2 weeks from now. I have a feeling that you guys are definitely in for a long, hard haul, aren't you?
Yes, especially at me after my first round. I didn't finish the race there. Thought I was going to do good at Kansas, and then just went downhill. Luckily, I made the 2nd round.
For sure there now with this chance of a lifetime coming up and a big 3rd place finish here today. This is certainly going to help out in total for you and the crew. So with that in mind, let me ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank you for all this?
I'd like to thank Titletown Racing and Joka Graphics for making the wrap for tonight. Hood Up Motorsports and SG71 Photography, and then CFM Esports.
All right, well, Thaddeus, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, and I gotta think you probably made quite a few of those sponsors proud with this one. Congrats, sir.
Thank you.
Thaddeus Marshall, ladies and gentlemen, the 87 coming away here 3rd today, as Carl Handwork comes away with another solid position and a solid performance here. Handwork will go 2nd. Congratulations on that, but Handwork, man, I know one thing is for certain. You had probably, of all the guys, the most wild night of racing. From the tops to the bottoms to the highs to the lows. You pretty much went through everything today.
Yeah, pretty much. It was nice to finally be able to run a race, and I screwed myself because I was just pushing way too hard to try and get the win. The low line was the fast line, and I couldn't get it, so I was more comfortable just hanging around the top. And if I got to run, I got to run. If not, so be it. Obviously, I wanna apologize to Blake for sure because both the times that I got into him was I apologize for that. The first time I got a little loose coming off the corner and couldn't save it, got in the side of him, and then the other time it was just a little bit too aggressive of a side draft going into the corner. So both those times I apologize for that because I don't like running guys dirty, unlike some of the douchebags in this league like to do, and need their teammates sometimes to beat you. But it was fun not having to worry about any idiots for most of this race and actually being able to run a good race.
Well, definitely some strong words and some strong feelings on that in this end. With that in mind, though, I mean, you're coming up with one more race before the Final Four. What's it going to be like having to deal with down at Richmond for you and your crew?
It'll be the same thing, just trying to avoid idiots trying to take you out, and then it's Richmond, so it's short track racing. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tough. So just try and come away with a solid finish and hopefully move on to the Final Four.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, handwork, you definitely got yourself your work cut out for you and all that. Is there anybody you want to thank for being in second place today?
Yep. Yeah. Thank everybody over at Titletown Racing. We obviously put up a good showing again with what I think 4 of the top 6. So can't really go wrong with that. So good job by the team and everybody like that getting ready for this one. Thanks to Josh for putting this on and having to deal with all the BS week in week out, and obviously thank you for putting on the broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Carl, congratulations, second place finish, sir. We'll see you next time out.
Thanks, a lot, buddy.
Strong words, strong heated favorite there. Carl Handwork looking to try to be the man of the hour, the man with the power, but tonight he will not be that because it belongs to the number 26, Blake Howell. And Blake, once again, representing for 1-3 speed. And again, I may have messed up on the broadcast earlier about that, but I apologize. But nevertheless, you come away here with a solid victory and a one leg up with your teammate going in the top 5. Does this really kind of seal the deal for you and your crew to now take over into the Final Four come 2 weeks from now?
Oh man, I wouldn't say it yet. I'd love to be locked in. I don't know if I am or not. Obviously we don't have the points yet, but I'm gonna keep on pushing forward to Richmond. Like it's just any other race, like I did this week.
It certainly is like just every other race, but this race wasn't without its chaos and madness as well, my friend. I mean, you know as well as I did, there was quite a few crazy shots, crazy moments in between there. What was it like having to try to make that comeback though after the unfortunate circumstance there on turn number 3?
Um, well, it didn't really worry me too much, as annoying as it was. I knew Carl would get the EOL, and I'd probably still be back up at the front. I had a faster pair at that time, so it wasn't too big of a setback, but still it was a bit scary in the moment.
It's definitely for sure there, but nevertheless here, as you come away with another solid position and a great day coming away first once more, this will pretty much get you one chance to the big moment here in the big dance. But who do you want to think you're today after this one?
I want to thank Chris Papa, 1-3 Speed, let me drive this car this season. I want to thank 213 Simware. This first race with those guys. Glad to get them a win. And I want to thank Red Duck Comics, Rogue Energy, and United Republic of Painters.
Well, Blake, we do appreciate coming on board here, sir. And once again, another congratulations for you and your team. Big victory once more here at Homestead. We'll see you next time out, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Blake Howell, ladies and gentlemen, representing for 1-3 Speed, has one more chance to finalize his deal with Chris Papa, but will Papa be able to get in there with him? We'll find out soon enough. Race fans, this has been chaotic. It's been fun, but it's been a good time nevertheless. From all of us here at P Race TV, we thank you for tuning in to the show. Thanks for spending your Friday night with us. We'll see you guys next time when the green flies high on P Race TV. For now, though, take care of yourselves. Be safe. God bless. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. See you next time.